written by James Selman. Introduction. In the United States in 1920s, few women flew planes, and it was unthinkable that a black and Native American woman could fly. Yet, Bessie Coleman did just that. She used discrimination to follow her dream of becoming a pilot. Her determination opened doors for other women, Black Americans, and Native Americans who came after her. Growing up in Texas, Bessie Coleman was born in Atlanta, Texas in 1892. Her parents were black and her father was of Native America. Descent as well. They were sharecroppers. Bessie was one of 13 children. 2 years after Bessie's birth, the family moved to Wasatch, Texas, where Bessie's father hoped that the busy town would offer a good job. Bessie started in Wasatch. She had to walk miles each day to all-black school because she was not allowed to attend the nearby white school. Bessie loved reading and books, and she was a whiz at math. Bessie's father was disturbed by the racial barriers in Texas. He believed that the family would be treated better if they moved to Indian Territory in what now is Oklahoma. Unable to convince his wife to accompany him, Bessie's father left the family when Bessie was 9 years old. Around that time, Bessie's older brothers grew up, also moved away. Bessie's mother worked as a housekeeper, while Bessie had to take care of her younger sister. In Texas, cotton was going big business. During the cotton harvest, everyone in the family worked in the field. Bessie hated picking cotton. It was hard, boring work. And during the harvest, black children couldn't go to school. Even though she worked in the fields, Bessie managed to finish all 8th grades in the local school. She decided that she wanted to go to college. So she got a job washing people's clothes and saved her money. In about 4 years, she had enough to begin college. Bessie enrolled at the Oklahoma, Colorado, and Normal University, now Langston University in Langston, Oklahoma. After 1 year, she ran out of money and had to return home. Moving to Chicago, 2 of Coleman's brothers had traveled east to Chicago, Illinois, in search of work and had a better life. One day, one of her brothers, Walter, contacted Coleman. He thought she could get a good job in the city. At the age of 23, Coleman boarded a train and made the trip to Chicago. It was a long and uncomfortable trip. Black people were forced to sit on the wooden benches on a separate part of the train from white people. When Coleman arrived in Chicago, She moved in with her brothers, Walter and John, and their wives, making 5 people in one small apartment. Coleman took a class to become manicurist and soon be found a job too at the White Sox barber shops on Chicago's South Side. When America entered World War I, her brothers enlisted in the army and went to France to fight. Coleman read newspaper stories about the fighting in Europe and worried about her brothers' safety. She also read about the brave pilots and was especially inspired by one Eugene Bullitt, a black pilot who flew for the French. When her brothers returned, they told Coleman stories about the war. They teased her, saying that French women were braver than American women, that they could fly airplanes. Hearing stories about the brave pilots made Coleman realize what she wanted to do. She wanted to become a pilot, but who would teach her? No one else would teach a black woman to fly. Traveling to France, Coleman did not give up. Her friend Robert Arbott, the editor of a newspaper for black people, told her that she could go to France to learn to fly. Coleman would need a lot of money to pay for the trip and the lessons. She got a new job managing a restaurant and saved her money. She also took French lessons and quickly learned the language. Arbott and other friends helped her pay for the trip as well. In 1920, Coleman set travel on a ship to France. She found a school run by the Cotton brothers, who said they would teach her to fly. The training plane they used was called a biplane. Biplane, it has 2 pairs of wings and 2 open cockpits. The instructor sat in the front cockpit and Coleman sat in the rear cockpit, watching as he moved the controls. It was very difficult to hear the teacher's instructions over the roars of the winds and the engine. Even so, Coleman was a good student, and in a few months she was ready to fly solo. In 1921, at the age of 29, Coleman became the first black American female pilot. She also became the first black person and the first Native American to earn the international pilot's license. Triumphant return. In the fall of 1921, Coleman returned to the United States. Both black and white Americans learned of her accomplishment. Coleman was interviewed by reporters and invited to special events. She was greeted with applause and respect. Coleman's dreams did not end with becoming a pilot. She wanted to start flying schools for others, especially black people. But she would need money to start the school, and the best way for a pilot to make money was perform at air shows. Before Coleman could be a part of an air show, she had to return to France to learn more about flying, including stunts and tricks. When Coleman came back to the United States, Robert Abbott helped her organize an air show near New York City on September 3, 1922. It was the first time a black woman has ever flown in an airship. Barnstormer Coleman's reputation as a pilot spread across the country. She became the Barnstormer, a pilot who traveled around the country using farmers' fields for air shows. Coleman's acts pleased crowds wherever she performed. One of her stunts was the loop, in which she could fly her plane straight up in the air, turn upside down, and make large loops in the sky. Approaching from the plane was another Coleman's famous stunt. She also took people for rides in the planes. She gave many black people the first chance to fly. Coleman took another step to help, but it would end to a discrimination. She insists that everyone, regardless of race or gender, should be allowed to attend any of the events in which she participated. She would not give a show or a speech to any white-only crowd. At first, Coleman had to borrow a plane for her shows. In time, she had enough money to buy her own plane, a Curtiss Jenny. Shortly after she bought the plane, its engine jammed and she crashed. Coleman has a broken leg, broken ribs, and a number of cuts. She was in the hospital for 3 months. As soon as she was released, Coleman went right back to flying. In April of 1926, 34-year-old Coleman agreed to do a show in Jacksonville, Florida. That included a parody jump. She and her mechanic, William Wills, took the plane to pick up a spot for the parachute jump. Coleman didn't wear her seatbelt because she needed to lean out of the plane. This was a good place for the jump. The plane suddenly went into a spin. Coleman fell out of the plane and was killed. The airplane crashed and Will was killed too. It was a tragedy. The country has lost a true aviation pioneer and one of its favorite pilots. Coleman legacy. After Coleman's death, the U.S. Post Office issued a stamp in her honor and a Chicago street named after her. May to have been declared Bessie Coleman Day in Chicago. 3 years later, Coleman's death, one of the most important dreams, was fulfilled. Bessie Coleman Aerial Club, the first flight school for Black Americans, opened in Los Angeles. Bessie Coleman accomplished so much in a short life, and she continues to be an inspiration. Coleman was a groundbreaking pioneer who never accepted what hadn't been done before. As a result to pursue her dreams, she became the first black female pilot as well as the first Native American pilot in American history. Coleman's passion for motivation and courage ran right alongside her record-breaking achievements.